the darkness fades into new beginnings, as we lift our eyes to a hope beyond. All creation waits with an expectation to declare the reign of the Lord our God. We will not be moved when the earth gives way, for the risen one is overcome. And for every fear there's an empty grave, for the risen one is overcome. Now the silence breaks in the name of Jesus, as the heavens cry, let the earth respond. All creation shouts with a voice of triumph to declare the reign of the Lord our God. We will not be moved when the earth gives way, for the risen one is overcome. And for every fear there's an empty grave, for the risen one is overcome. He shall reign forever, strongholds now surrender, for the Lord our God has overcome. Who can be against us? Jesus our defender, He is Lord and He has overcome. He shall reign forever, strongholds now surrender, for the Lord our God has overcome. Who can be against us? Jesus our defender, He is Lord and He has overcome. We will not be moved when the earth gives way, for the risen one is overcome. And for every fear there's an empty grave, for the risen one is overcome. We will not be moved when the earth gives way, for the risen one is overcome. And for every fear there's an empty grave, for the risen one is overcome. Oh, He has overcome. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. And oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. and oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. Yeah, you did. You have been so, so kind to me. And on the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. And oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. In oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. Oh. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. And oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. You know the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Hey guys, it has been so great worshiping with you. I'm so excited that we had worship back in our videos again this week. If you want to be a part of that, we would love to hear from you. Whether you play guitar or play piano and sing, whatever it may be, we would love to incorporate you into this. So just go ahead and send me a message on social media, send us a message on Naz YTH Mid, Naz YTH High, or even text me if you have my number. But we would love to get you involved in just being a little bit more a part of these services and these midweek things that we have going on during this time of social distancing. But as you can see, I'm coming to you from a little bit of a different location. I am currently in my guest room in our apartment, and this monstrosity is our guest room closet. And so this has become just a catch-all. Guys, we moved from Reynoldsburg before we came here to Grove City, and our apartment there was a little bit bigger, just as far as like square footage. It wasn't 2 stories like our apartment is now, but it did have more storage space. We had a little kind of storage container out back off of our little patio that we had. And this apartment, while we love it, it just doesn't have that storage space. So this closet actually starts here and it goes all the way back. It is the full length of the room. There's like little steps, and I've never seen a closet like it. But this has become where we keep all of our storage stuff. This has become where we keep all of our, obviously, Christmas, our decorations, our, wrapping paper, all this stuff. You can see blankets. This has caught everything. And I don't know about you, I've talked to some of you guys, and a lot of you guys have been cleaning out your room. You guys have been deep cleaning your drawers, your closets, everything. And I get into these moods where I'm like, I have to clean. Like, it's just, I'm sick and tired of the clutter. I'm sick and tired of all of this stuff, and it needs to be done. Like, I'm just gonna spend the whole day. And guys, one day I took all of this closet, like the entire thing, put it out in the middle of our room and just cleaned it. I organized it. I threw away so much stuff. And yet somehow these spaces end up looking the same way. And so as I was preparing for this, I was thinking about spaces where we have clutter, or spaces where we have just an abundance of stuff. I started to think about this closet. And I started going through it a little bit, and I found some things. And so I want to talk to you about a couple of those things, because I think in today's world, we have so many choices. We have too many options. We have too many things vying for our attention, for our money, for our time. I mean, guys, I like to joke because I love Netflix. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. But my favorite thing to watch on Netflix is choosing something to watch on Netflix. I will say, oh, let's watch a movie tonight, Mason. And we'll spend an hour trying to decide on what to watch because there's just so much stuff on there. It's just insane the amount of things that we have the option to partake in, to watch. And in the middle of this time, although the options on Netflix are still the same, we don't have as many options of places to go, of things to do, of, people to see. But we still have options in life, and we still have these choices and these decisions that essentially make those options, those decisions for us. And so I was going through this closet, and I found a couple things that I want to share with you guys. First, I found this. Now, this is my wedding dress, but this is not the dress that I wore when I walked down the aisle. I actually got to work at David's bridal when we were engaged, and so I got a really good deal on this super cute short dress. Guys, I know obviously you care nothing about this, but I found this dress because my real dress that I walked down the aisle that Mason and I had our first dance in, it is preserved in a box, and this one was for my reception. I still wore my main dress for a lot of the reception, but I changed into this. And this dress holds so many fun memories of dances and conversations and just moments from one of the best days in my life. But this dress isn't my wedding. If this dress was my relationship with Mason, what does it say that I just shoved it in this closet, right? This dress is important to me because it reminds me of a great moment. It reminds me of a great time, but I don't use it all the time. It's something that I treasure, but it's not at the forefront of my mind, even if it does represent my wedding and a little bit of my marriage, right? The beginning of this great story. I also found these. This is one of my hoods from my master's. This reminds me of a great time of celebrating an accomplishment of 2 hard years of work that I spent a lot of late nights of turning papers in at the very last minute at midnight. A lot of weekends that I spent, instead of going out with friends, I spent writing a 24-page paper on ethics in ministry. Guys, this represents a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice of time that I could have spent with friends, with Mason, with different things that I could have chosen to do. But this celebrates that moment that I got to walk across the stage of my family coming to see me and celebrating those things. But again, this isn't my master's. This isn't the reason that I did that. This isn't the reason that I pursued that. This isn't my dreams, my goals. But it's just a reminder of the hard work I did in the moment I got to celebrate when it was done. What I'm trying to say is these things that I have found in this closet, these things that I found in a space that I have kind of created a hodgepodge, a menagerie of things, from a turkey that I think I've used once to a Christmas wreath that I use once a year. These things are all things that I like and I bring out probably once a year. But these things, my wedding dress, my hood from my master's degree, these are not those moments. That dress is not my marriage to Mason. That's not the relationship that we have. That master's hood isn't my master's. It's not the hard work that I put in to try to gain more knowledge so I could connect with people better, so that I could work with teams better, so that I could, try to run a business if I wanted. That I could have that knowledge, that understanding to be able to grasp and walk alongside people through life. Those are things that represent those moments, but that's not them. And I think in life sometimes we can get so caught on those one things. Like, what girl didn't grow up watching Say Yes to the Dress? Come on. And so for me, when I was before the wedding, that dress was like the epitome of our wedding. I was like, I know I'm going to spend the rest of my life with Mason, and that's super exciting, but I need a bomb dress. And the fact that I got to have 2 dresses made me feel all the more like I was in Say Yes to the Dress. But since being married, I haven't really pulled that out of the closet. It's been in its nice little neat garment bag, and I have dreams of being able to, wear it for a photo shoot one day for an anniversary or something, but it's not my marriage. It's not all that I thought it was going to be. And as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about my nerd brain went to Harry Potter. It made me think of this little fella. This is a Niffler, for those of you guys who don't know, and I apologize, he used to hold a coin in his little hands, but my dog got him, and he no longer has his treasure. But Nifflers, their whole thing is they like shiny things. They like gold, they like everything. They just, in the movies, every time they see something, he's got like a little pouch like a kangaroo, and he will go and grab watches, chains, a shiny penny. But he wants things that are shiny because those are the things that he thinks has value. And he'll hide them in his little pouch, and he'll run around scurrying, taking things from people because they're shiny. And it made me think of, what things are we collecting that are shiny to us, that catch our attention, and so we think that they have value, and yet they're just distractions. They're things that end up in kind of a closet of clutter and just end up kind of getting covered in other stuff. They don't really have value. It's like a penny versus like a gold watch. Those are not the same value. And it also made me think of, in The Office, Michael Scott, there's this episode where he goes under Stanley's car because he sees something shiny and ends up with gum in his hair. And Jim says, but best case scenario, what you were going for was a quarter, right? What are we sacrificing? What are we getting gum in our hair for? Even if it's shiny, even if it's something that catches our attention, what are we sacrificing for it? What are we choosing to spend our time, spend our energy, spend our money, spend our efforts on during this time? Right now, we're in a time of kind of peace, of reflection. I hope you guys got some rest like we talked about last week. But I hope that you're taking a minute to look at what you're storing up, what you're putting in here, because there is stuff in this closet that has no value to me, like none. Like, I could get rid of it right now, but I don't want to go through all of this, right? I don't want to take the time and the effort to drag everything out to figure it out. If I just leave it there, it's fine. We don't have to worry about it, right? But in the Bible, in Matthew 6:19, it says, do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I just want to read that last verse again. It's verse 21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I know that Pastor David has talked about that verse a lot because I think that it's so true. Where your heart is where your treasure is going to be. Guys, that wedding dress represents my heart for Mason. It represents the relationship, the 3 years that we dated before we got engaged. It reminds me of all of the hard times that we went through, all of the good times, and all of the things that I get to enjoy now because I'm married to him. It reminds me of all of the relationship bits and pieces in our journey that brought us here, how I treasure him. And that was a moment of celebrating that. And so that holds a special place in my heart. The same with the hood. And I know that some of you guys, especially my seniors right now, I know that you guys are mourning not being able to wear a cap and gown, not being able to walk across that stage like I talked about for my master's. But let me just say again, those things, that cap and that gown is not your graduation. That is not what you've been working towards this whole time, right? You've been working towards this accomplishment, but also building friendships, building memories, building all of these moments. That's just another moment. And I hope that you guys get to experience that moment. I do. From the bottom of my heart, I hope that you guys get to walk across that stage and get to celebrate it with family and friends. But when you look back at it, when you look back at your time in high school, that's not going to be the crowning moment. That might not be the one thing that sticks out. But where your heart is in these moments, where your heart was in your friendships, where your heart was in the clubs that you did, in the community service that you did, in all of the things that you helped organize, that's where your treasure is going to be. It's not in the stuff, but it's in the moments. The stuff can help remember moments and represent those things. But if we're being honest and we're looking at this clutter and all these things, there's a lot of stuff that we store up here on earth, whether it's clothing or accomplishments or, people, thinking that people like us or, popularity, all these different things. We can sometimes store those things up, but those things don't always last. Those things aren't lasting. But where your heart is, there your treasure will be also. Store things up in heaven through different works, through these different moments that we have been given. So during this time, what are you storing up? What are you working on collecting? What is catching your attention? Is it shiny things that are happening out of the corner of your eye that catch your attention and catch you mid-sentence and then you just kind of look like someone said squirrel? Or is it the quiet moments with God? The quiet moments that you get to spend with him, the moments that are challenging you, that are growing you, the moments that you're spending getting to know people better. What are you storing up right now? How are you growing? How are you kind of assessing your clutter today? I just want to encourage you guys this week, look at your lives. Look at maybe even your closets. What are the things that you guys are storing up? What are the things that you value? But also, what do they represent? Because if it's like this Christmas wreath that is just a decoration that I put up once a year to help my neighbors know that I am festive, versus my wedding dress, celebrating this moment that started the rest of my life, there's a difference there. So what are you storing up? What are things that you are continuing to collect that are catching your attention, that are helping you grow? I pray that you guys aren't collecting just, shiny things, but rather are collecting things and moments with God that are helping you grow into the person that he's calling you to be, that are helping you further his kingdom through what you're doing, through your words, through your actions. And so I just want to pray for you guys before we go to small groups. God, I just thank you again for this opportunity today. I thank you for all of these students, for all of these leaders, just for how they're spending this time in quarantine. I pray that even amidst all of the Netflix binging, through all of the homework, through all of the work, through all of whatever else they have on their plate, because God, I know their plates are full. I just pray that you would help them to assess the things that they've collected in their lives. the things that they hold near and dear, the things that are kind of covered underneath all the clutter, amidst all of these other things that they've collected. And I pray that you would help them to prioritize, to look at things and say, why is this still here? Why am I holding on to this? Why am I holding on to this relationship, onto this control in this situation? Why am I holding on to this anger, this fear, this anxiety? God, I just pray that you would be with them as they seek to let that go, to give it to you, to replace it for something even better that you have for them, something that's going to help them lean into your calling in their life, into who you're calling them to be. God, I just pray that you'd be over their small group time, throughout their conversation, and just with them throughout this week, that you would continue to use them as a mouthpiece for your love and grace and mercy. But we love you so much, and we praise your name. Amen. Guys, thanks for joining us again this week. I hope you have a great small group time. And just a reminder, this Friday is another worship night. We are having a worship night on Zoom. It's going to be a great time. We'll probably have an opening activity and then worship together. It's not awkward or anything like that. We don't hear each other sing, but you mute yourself. We have some lyrics available for you, so you don't have to worry about not knowing the words, but it's just gonna be a great time together. And we did have our first Movie Monday, and we're gonna have another one this week. So keep an eye out on our Instagram story to vote on which movie we're gonna watch, and we hope to see you there for our next Netflix watch party. But hope you guys have a great night. Can't wait to see you guys again. Bye.